Hello, and welcome to the Steppers Club podcast, hosted by myself, Sam Deely,
myself, Zephyr,
and myself, Minister. Join us each month as we take a new exciting member from the music industry through their most ideal dream club experience.
Starting off outside the club, we'll be checking ID and who's on the guest list before moving inside to the green room,
where amongst other things we discuss exclusive artist content and most importantly we find out the dream lineup and who's playing in the next room.
We'll then take the artist into the main room where we discuss in depth all things DJing and production related before finishing up with some general chatter and reminiscing in the smoking area.
Alright, it's time to get into it. Keep it locked as we see who's waiting outside the club for this month's edition of the Steppers Club podcast. Okay, Mr. Zephyr,
Mr. Deely.
we're back.
We are.
In new fashion, in new style. The club has been refurbished.
It's true. It's been a lot of money gone into it, a lot of time and effort into renovating the place.
Not only is it the best club in
The world.
It's the best club now in what's bigger than the world?
The universe.
The universe.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a big claim.
Anyway, we're outside the club. It's a bit chilly. Oh, so you know what? It's a nice temperature, but we've got a very special guest.
We have just in time for the relaunch as well.
And he goes by the name of Higgo. Higgo, inside. How are you?
He's trying to work out which camera.
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, it's good to have you down, man.
Thanks, man.
How do you feel to be in the Steppers Club?
It's great. It's so nice to be the first time here.
I feel like we should preface this by mentioning that we attempted to actually record an episode with Higgo a couple months back, I think it was. And there were some technical
hitches,
all sorts going on.
And we were furious, so we've moved locations of the club.
Correct. Big improvement. What do you think? What do you think of the new location compared to last
great,
time?
Yeah. I mean,
Do you like the brick? It's a real brick.
I do. It's very rustic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, a vast improvement. Very high tier, high grade.
Lovely stuff.
Right.
Big up TYX Studios.
Big us TYX Studios.
Anyway, we're outside the club. We're queuing up. Bouncer is approaching you.
That's it.
He wants an ID check. So you're whipping out your ID.
Yeah.
What's your real name?
Joseph Michael Higgins.
Wow.
Wow.
Your full government name.
I know.
So, story of Higgo?
Higgins.
Higgins.
It's a natural lead-in.
A nickname at school, maybe? A nickname at school? What?
Uni. Yeah.
Uni, okay.
I was in with the posh rugby sort of boys, that kind of lot. I was like, Higgo. Was the
I
name.
feel like that is the garage demographic in the
it was
in this day and age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my name and that's what stuck. And I made a SoundCloud account, Higgo, and it's just been that ever since. Never changed it.
When that meme came out, that was that guy saying, "What is this? Is this garage?" And he's playing like flowers. Do you know this meme that I'm talking about?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, were you at uni at the time? Did you get sent that?
Oh no, I went to uni 10 years ago.
Oh, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, you are old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know this meme.
You don't know this meme?
But we'll clip it now. Yeah. What is... No, yeah, I don't know this meme.
Oh, so you
like, what is
definitely
this? Is
see
it
it. Yeah, it's like,
garage?
what is this? This is Dutty. Is it garage? It's got flowers playing in the background.
James. He did a
James?
good James Acaster impression.
I think,
yeah.
I know, it's that comedian. He's a funny guy.
It's a vintage meme.
Vintage meme. Nice little antique meme, if you will. Anyway, another thing we like to check on the ID that's interesting.
Yeah.
Age. Your real age.
I'm 28.
28.
1995, baby.
Wow.
So when did you get into this whole thing in uni, you said? At the age of...
I was just becoming intrigued as to how long it would go for. I wasn't even interested in the answer.
Like 2020, I guess. It was like...
I was a real anticlimax.
Yeah, well, it wasn't first year, but I started going to like house because it was like tropical house and like that's deep house is the big thing back in like 2013, 14. So it was all like Higgo and
Nice.
Route 94
Yeah.
and all that. And I
Yeah.
was, you know,
I think everyone sort of started into that, like, I want to be Martin Garrix kind of vibe. Or
well,
was
I mean,
that
it was never that bad.
Oh, right. Because wasn't Sammy Virgie, like, originally, it's like the big fat chicken?
I think I can drop an exclusive. Well, it's probably not an exclusive, but it's not widely known that his original DJ alias was DJ Chicken Fister.
I think I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like EDM.
And there's
like,
some really interesting old, like, kind of bass house sort of.
Because he did like the, or like the club circuit and stuff, like uni club circuit.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Classic.
Classic.
well, anyway, the ID check is in full swing.
Thanks, man.
You don't need to thank me, it's all right. ID check. So, where are you from?
Farnborough in Hampshire, on the Hampshire-Surrey border.
Bustling garage scene down there.
Yeah. Well, we're almost in Guildford, so, you know, definitely. That's it.
Anyway, look, you've passed your ID check. It's all
Thanks.
good. You're from Farnborough. You're 28. Is that right?
Make my life sound so exciting.
And your name's Joseph.
Yeah, wow.
And you're stepping into the club, going in. People are coming in behind you. It's your guest list. Who are they? The dream guest list.
My mum.
Your mum.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's have two more.
My mum and...
Why your mum, first off?
Yeah,
Well-
has she come to any events before?
No, and that's why I've invited
Okay.
her along.
I think you said this the last time we recorded,
Yeah.
and,
I
and you still haven't made it happen.
I haven't played any gigs since then.
What, was she going to come to Printwork?
She was going to come to Printworks, yeah, and I told her not to. Didn't think it would be her scene. She's never been to any of my shows before, and I thought that wouldn't be the best one to get her into it.
Not
What-
really a
what-
mum vibe.
What's
maybe.
the ideal mum vibe for a show?
Maybe like a festival, day fest or something.
Okay.
Like Glasgow or something. Get
Yeah.
her down for the day.
Tommy, aka Drac,
Yes.
he's involved in Steppers Club. He brought his
Big up track.
mum to big ups Drac. Brought his mum to the first time she's ever seen him play a gig for our boat party the other week, and she had a merry time.
She did?
She had a really good time. Yeah.
Yeah, my mum doesn't really drink or anything,
Right.
so it might be a bit awkward.
Right.
She'd just be kind of standing there.
Would you drink if she was there? Would you not?
Oh, I would, yeah.
You would?
I would just
Make
really-
her suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of big DJs that we've interviewed that don't drink, Hamdi being one of them. And he has a great time. He's probably like the most gas person there most of the time.
I know, yeah, I wish I could do it, to be honest, but
Maybe you can. Maybe it's a mindset thing.
it definitely is, but I'm weak.
Anyway, your mum. Who else?
I did think of two other people and I've forgotten who they are.
Did he make a note?
I think
No.
let's
No.
have
Okay.
like, should we do like an artist and then somebody that you think would be good to sort of party with?
I'll give you some previous suggestions. I think Tommy B on the episode before you suggested Superhands.
Superhands is
would
a
be
good one.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Well, favourite artist, like biggest inspiration, someone you'd want to just have a little natter with in the green room.
Probably Outcast.
Outcast, yeah.
Outcast would be good. Or maybe just
That's
Andre.
two people, isn't it?
Maybe just, it is, yeah. But maybe just Andre 3000. He seems like a chilled vibe. Not sure if Big Boy would enjoy it.
Okay.
But Andre, I think he would. He's a bit more.
What is it you
out
like
there.
about Outcast?
They brought me into like American hip hop when I was first getting into it, and they just hold a sort of special place in my heart.
Is that where you sort of like? No, because you said you started with the like housey beats. Because I know you made like
It was-
sometimes I've seen little clips of.
Yeah,
video
I made
hip-hop
like
beats.
hip hop stuff to begin with, and yeah, quickly moved on to like more UK stuff. But yeah, the route was definitely making like boom bap instrumentals and stuff, which I guess you can still kind of hear a bit of that in my music now.
I was going to say, if I would envisage an artist that I would expect you to bootleg or do an edit of, I think Outkast would make a lot of sense. I think there's a few tunes of theirs
Yeah,
you could do.
I have tried a couple of times, but they've always been shit. So
Right.
maybe
Sorry to hear that.
maybe next time.
Try again,
Thanks, man. I
and we'll
will.
clip it. No.
Yes.
Error 404 not found.
Anyway, so right, who's on the guest list? Outcast. Just the what did you say his name was?
Andre
3000.
Andre 3000, your mum, and come on, there's got to be someone else. 3, 2, 1.
Mark from Peep Show.
Love it.
Original.
Because he'd make me look like I was having a really good time.
Yeah,
Even if I wasn't,
true.
he'd still take all the awkwardness away from me.
Yeah.
I briefly went to a school that he attended when he was younger.
Nice.
Yeah, fun fact.
Claim to fame.
Yeah, no, basically. Fair enough.
Anyway, the bouncers approved your ID. He's approved the guest list. We need to make our way inside. Your mum is getting cold. So we need to move in.
Because she's not drinking.
She's not drinking. And, well, we're not even in yet, so
Yeah.
most people aren't drinking.
Don't you move in on my mum, so.
He's been on or up in the queue.
Your mum's getting cold, I need to move in.
Yeah. All right. I'm in. Move into the club, the Steppers Club. So, let's head on in to the green room.
I remember being older than I am now. There were circumstances in the same crowd. I was turning into something that seems fluid. There is something.
Okay. We're inside the green room. What a lovely little green room. How's it feel in here, in the dream green room?
Quite similar to how it did outside.
It's just bright.
Bright and breezy.
So you're in the green room,
Yeah.
just chilling with Outcast, Mark from Peep
Mark
Shows,
Corrigan.
chatting with your mum.
Oh, my mum.
Do you think they'll get on?
Mum and Mark could definitely get on.
A bit,
On
bit too well.
No, yeah.
Let's talk about some green room experiences for you. Best green room? Can you remember?
Best.
Was the Printworks green room nice? Since you played in Printworks.
It's all right. It's very far away from the stage, so it's
Wasn't it?
yeah. So you have to get escorted because
It's a
otherwise you just get
maze.
lost. You have to
Yeah,
go like
yeah,
up and down and up and then over the other side of the venue and down and up and down again.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all right, and there's just loads of people in there who all think they're really cool, and you have to kind of navigate your way around them and stop them from stealing your drinks.
Probably
So,
all with their mums as well.
yeah, and Mark Corrigan. So other than that, the what's it called? Warehouse Project. One's quite because everyone gets their own shipping container,
Really?
which is
Wow.
quite cool. So we
Never been to Warehouse Project.
yeah, it's very cool,
What was that like playing there?
amazing. Yeah, probably the best show that I've done.
You're back to back with Sammy, right?
Yeah, that was because we were in the concourse room, which is like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
second, which is like the second biggest room, but still huge. It's what like
Yeah, I remember seeing the clips of
three or
that.
4,000 people or something in there, and it's not even the biggest room.
Was there like a highlight moment from that set, or just the whole thing was?
Just the whole thing was crazy. I mean, I don't really remember many specific instances from it because it just goes by in a blur. But
Yeah.
it's sick having you're kind of getting ready to play, and in that room in particular, there's the whole crowd goes all the way around you.
Yeah.
So
I remember seeing that iconic clip of the Slim Shady dub.
yeah, it's surreal kind of watching it back, and then because it looks so kind of professional and amazing in the video, and then when you're stood there, you're just kind of surrounded by people all at eye level, just kind of looking at you and like handing you their phone so you can take a photo of them, and like begging you to suck on their elf bar. It's just like, it's an experience for sure. But yeah, no, that's probably my favourite.
Where did you get the? Because doesn't it say you get it to say your name?
Yeah, I cut it. I just found a bunch of Eminem acapellas online,
Right.
and then just kind of found the syllables that I needed and cut them together and tried to make it sound.
Wow.
It worked
Techie.
all right, but I mean, that was only, a couple of years ago. And now you could just get AI to
Yeah,
do it,
yeah.
couldn't you? Which is crazy how that's come along. You could just get, I don't know, not ChatGPT, but whatever the audio
How much time
ones.
would that have saved you now?
Probably about 20 minutes.
Oh, right.
It
Wasn't like
didn't take that long, but I mean, I just hit it with like effects and stuff. But yeah, it would have been even more amazing if I'd done it with AI, probably.
So on green rooms, worst green room.
Oh.
you
No
can
shade,
remember.
but probably 33 Hertz in Guildford.
Okay. And what's going on with that?
Well, it's just sort of like a small bench in the corner of the club because the club's so small anyway. It's just kind of a little bench in the corner that's roped off by
So everyone can see it.
Yeah, you're just sat there in the corner.
Well, be like, I'm better than you.
Have you been
because
to
I've
the
got a
club
rope in
before?
it. No.
It's tiny because I know it was Sean that was talking about it before.
Oh, right,
because
okay.
he's from there.
Yeah.
It's the tiniest little place anyway, but they have like a little VIP section, like guest room thing, and they just have a little rope cordoning it off.
That's so weird.
I've been kicked out of there before when I was playing because the headliner turned up and they needed more room because there were like 4 of them, and they none of the support acts were allowed in there.
Escorted out of the room.
Yeah, so it's like, sorry, headliner's here, you got to get out. And we're just like, well, we're playing as well. It's like, no, you got to go.
Who was the headliner? Can you remember?
There were 4 of them.
Oh, right. What, gentleman club?
It was 4.
Oh, right, nice.
4.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was in
Garage Shed,
4.
Donny's.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are a lot of blokes to fit in a bench.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Had to go.
yeah, we had to get out.
Had to get off.
Was that fairly early on then in your Higgo career, or was that?
It was, yeah. Probably 2017 or 18. Back in the day. Decades ago.
The good old times.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because you think, I don't know, when I see the numbers written down, like 2018, even 2019, which feels like yesterday
Feels very
in terms
recent.
of numbers. But then if you actually think about what you did that year, or what you, I don't know, you see like an event from that year or something, or a tune that came out, you're like, wow, that was years ago, that was ages ago. Feels like a lifetime ago, to me anyway, I don't know. I just keep seeing it come up. And then like, something like 2016, that's like, I wasn't even born then, practically, it feels like.
Mad.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you miss
Spooky.
like the more intimate sort of club nights, or do you like enjoy the like how it's sort of progressed now into the sort of bigger audiences?
I do. I mean, I don't know. I still do a fair mix of them, really. A lot of whenever I play in like uni towns or anything like that, it's usually quite a small. It's not vastly bigger than anything I was playing at the time. It just now that my name's at the top of the flyer, baby. Now I'm big.
Big Higgo.
Big-O.
Big
O.
Yeah.
Pig-O.
You might get some bookings if you put that as your name.
Hippo.
Did you ever have like? Have you always been like really happy with Higgo, or is there ever like? Have you ever like thought about other names?
It's just always been fun. I've always kind of a little bit sort of embarrassed by it because I don't know, it's just sort of my name and it feels a bit. It's not a real word.
I think if people hear your full name, then the kind of the first thing is, oh, it's like a nickname. But it still makes sense.
People never
in that
make the
sense.
connection because even if they know my full name, they're like, "Why is your name Higgo?" I'm like,
Really?
"Because it's mine." Yeah, I always find it a bit odd because I thought it'd be obvious, but then I guess I don't know. The word Higgins to me, or like that, is just obvious because it's been my name for my entire life. But other people might not make the connection. I don't
Well,
know.
it's more creative than Sam Dealey
Yeah,
because that is my name.
well, it's not hard, is it?
It's got the bounce.
Yeah, well, who was the MC that you met that said it was a good artist name or something? I remember you told me a story about this.
A few people have said it's like fine.
Was it Shanti or someone?
That's good
That said-
praise.
It's fine.
Loads of people have said it's fine.
I don't particularly because I just kind of got into, not that I'm like a big artist anyway, and we're not here to talk about me.
No, obviously.
But yeah, it's just like I kind of got. I just started releasing under that name because I didn't know what to choose, and I'll be like, oh, I'll just pick one later on, and then I'm just kind of like stuck with it now. But so I'm not that bothered about it. I think having your own name is like kind of nice because
Yeah, I don't think it matters so much these days.
Yeah.
And I think you can just go by anything now. It's not like you need to have like a really cool, crazy name and, change all the S's to Z's. and
Higgo
stuff.
worked out for you.
Change
So
all
it's
the S's.
testament to that.
It did, yeah. And I, people always thought it was Higgo because Kygo.
That's horrible.
I know, peaking it.
I got asked by somebody at a studio the other week. It was the first time I told them about the label that we do, and I said it's called Steppers Club. And he said, "How is it spelt?" And I was like, "I think it's quite self-explanatory." But he was like, "Oh no, is there like a Z at the end of it?" And I was like, "No, we're not that cool."
Steppers.
Yeah, we haven't got there yet.
The reason I it was from a drum and bass tune called Stepper Dub.
Really?
That's-
Well, the actual original story behind the name was that we had a group chat, and of like some producers that were potentially going to be involved in it at the time. You were classified as too big, not so that's why you weren't in it.
Bit rude.
You would have said no anyway. And it was the Fat Controller that suggested Trekkers Club. And the reason for it was because for some reason at the time...
We were all so far away.
Well, but apparently the label had to be... It was like every time I said to somebody we were starting a label, they're like, where's it based? And I was like, oh, it's not based, it's just a label. It's not based anywhere.
You wanted it to be something club, I remember.
Yeah, I think we were coming along those lines. And then Gabriel said, oh, because we're all based... We could be Trekkers Club. And I remember then going to Cargo, because he ran a night called Techers in Sheffield, and we said, could we call it that? Obviously, it's a bit close to what you guys do. How would you feel? And they said no. And then you came out with Steppers Club, and the rest is history. It's much better. I'm glad we ended up on Steppers rather than Trekkers. I think it's a much better name.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Let's talk about Higgo now.
Yeah, let's talk about me.
Yeah, I'm the main character.
So, something we like to ask in the green room before heading on into the main room is who's playing next door. Now, this is a big pre-prepared question I know you've been thinking about a lot.
He pre-prepared the last one.
It's
to put some pressure on your answer.
It's going to go just as well because I can't remember anything. Well, me, obviously.
Yeah.
That's it.
Obviously.
Is that like your dream night to just go?
Just me. Yeah. Me, back-to-back me.
Do you find yourself like often just watching a set being like, get me up there?
I'm class.
No. Very rarely, actually.
Well, so what are like some of the best sets you've seen to be like that you'd want in?
So if I was to draw from previous inspiration, from a time when I've not answered this question before, Chris Lorenzo, back-to-back Sammy Vergi.
Okay.
Just think about it. Think about it.
Thinking, and I like it.
It'd be big. They're sort of...
I've never done that.
I don't think so.
I think we'd know about it. Bad.
They're both they're not quite the same style, but I think they could blend nicely. Their tunes are both sort of like bigger than the sum of their... the tunes are like bigger than them almost. They just have a little extra something. So I think together they both like span many genres and they can play a bit of everything. So I think that would be like...
Yeah, wow.
It would just bring the roof down, really.
Who else would be like an interesting back-to-back? I know you're a big fan of MJ Cole. Would you have him on his own, back-to-back with anyone?
I was thinking about him and Salute.
Oh.
But then I said no. I'd rather have me.
Yeah, I think that actually,
that would be sick.
It makes more sense musically.
Yeah.
What?
Than MJ Cole.
Me and MJ Cole?
Rather than him and Salute.
I think Salute would be cool.
The keyboard warriors.
Like, if you think about...
I think musically, though,
Yeah,
in terms
but
of what you play.
Sometimes it's good to have like
maybe
a contrast.
my
though,
stuff
right?
is so inspired by MJ Cole, though. Like,
have you worked with him?
No, I'd like to. I
Right.
chatted to him a few times, but we've never kind of come across paths professionally.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, my stuff's so inspired by him and his old tunes, and I think he has quite a sort of varied palette because he does his more poppy stuff. Obviously, he's like more older, kind of. He's done kind of all styles of garage, and I think it would be quite a cool. Because obviously, Salute's own tunes are very sort of idiosyncratic, if you will.
Big word, that.
Big O.
Correct.
And he has his own style, it's very distinct, but I think he also, he plays a wide variety of stuff. I think the vibes would go, I think they would go together. I'd be willing to bet the many thousands of pounds that I'd spend on booking them both.
Yeah, many thousands.
I think that's a safe bet for secondary headliner.
I know that MJ Cole's done a lot of work with Piri and Tommy, right? You have once with the remix. But have you done more?
I've made a tune with Piri.
Nice.
Which we are trying to release, but she has a whole bunch of stuff
lined up
in the pipeline, ready to come out, so we're kind of trying to make that
What's
work.
the vibe of it?
Sort of classic Higgo vibes on the instrumental. Yeah, definitely a garage tune, but with her singing on it.
Nice.
So it brings a whole nother dimension to the song.
I love that. Can you say what it's called? Or can you not?
It's called Think Twice.
Nice. Did you just come up with that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Can we play a clip of it here?
Maybe.
If
you can, here it is. We'll find out.
Let's finish off the guest list lineup. So you've got Chris Lorenzo back-to-back Sammy.
Yeah.
Salute back-to-back MJ Cole.
Yeah.
Who else?
Devel 19.
Nice.
He's just really good, isn't he?
Have you worked with him?
I've met him. We've talked about doing a session together, but obviously he lives in Wales.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So he comes over to London every now and again, but he's just a bit of a sporadic, enigmatic guy. Hard to pin him down. But
Got some really big words in your arsenal.
I know.
May I say. Big O.
Big O. That's what I'm bringing. Yeah, no, he's amazing. And I think
I think a Higgo collab would sound so sick.
that would be cool. We should get that done.
I'd say he would be better matched with Salute, you know. I think him and Salute back to back would be pretty
You're really not feeling this MJ Cole Salute vibe.
I genuinely feel on those names mentioned that you'd be a much better fit, because Salute doesn't do two-step at all, does he? And so much of MJ Cole's work is two-step. Well, name me a Salute two-step track.
Want You There?
That's not two-step.
No, I'm not saying there is, but
Yeah.
I don't know if all of MJ...
Not all of it, but
I don't know.
I just feel like it would make more sense.
No, but I feel like if both of them were going to play together, then they would
But
both
Salute would
accommodate
play.
for that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
Doesn't have to just
They
play
wouldn't
it.
necessarily play all their own tunes.
I'll let it go.
Thanks, man. I'm glad you like my idea.
Anyone else? Or
Milje,
Milje.
who is a German guy that is in the sort of neo-soul kind of...
Techie producer.
kind of lo-fi sort of jazz beats.
What, as an opener? Or
Yeah, if we're working backwards.
cool.
It's just, I don't know, some people, because it happens so often now with the internet and all this stuff, you know, this new technology. You just come across these people all the time that are just like the most incredible producer you've ever heard, and they just got like no following for how good they are. It's just one of those people that just popped up on like with Hans Glader, when he popped up out of nowhere, and it was just like, wow, where's this guy come from? He's just so good.
Yeah.
Same sort of vibes with this guy. It doesn't make not like dance music per se, but kind of inspired by that and inspired by like hip hop and a lot of like jazzy soul stuff. And he's like an amazing keys player. I think that would just be a cool like opening vibe to get people warmed up.
Yeah. All right. So opening with Milje. Then moving on.
Devel 19.
Devel 19. Salute. Back-to-back MJ Cole.
If that's
Controversial.
if that's all right
but
with
cool.
Isaac.
Yeah, I'll let it go.
Thanks, man.
And then Sammy Vergi. Back-to-back Chris Lorenzo. Headliner. Higgo.
Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't be headlining in that scenario, but
Well, I think you are. In the dream.
Pretty small font.
if you say so, I'll do it.
Anyway.
Fine.
It wasn't my idea, it was them.
Well,
Sorry, Sammy.
I'm eager to see what's happening next door. So let's move on in to the main room. So here we go.
Hold you in my arms. Hold you in my arms again. Oh, yes.
Okay, wow. We're in the main room. Incredible.
Wow.
Incredible vibes. Big O's got the vibes. Big O's got the big vibes.
Thanks for that.
Where that come from? we got Sammy
That was
Vergi
awful.
and Chris Lorenzo currently back to back in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sensual up there.
Thanks, man.
interesting, descriptive.
I'm trying to use big words like Big O.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Anyway, we're moving on to the bar
Mm.
and we're grabbing the dream drink order.
Oh.
What's that saying?
A quad spiced rum and ginger beer.
I love that. I've been getting into rum and ginger beer recently. Dark and stormy.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be a vodka lemonade guy, basic. And yeah, it's just completely up. It's like an actual enjoyable drink, not just like,
Yeah, man.
not just lemon flavoured
I don't know about a quad
alcohol.
though. Do you ever
Yeah.
drink
Well,
quad?
you gave me 30 quid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is that still an enjoyable tasting drink though?
We've got enough ginger beer, it is.
Yeah.
Maybe you get two instead of
Yeah.
a quad.
2 doubles maybe.
Yeah. Good idea.
Anyway, your set time's fast approaching. So we're heading past the dance floor, but you've got time to bust a quick move. Favourite dance move?
It's a classic two-step.
Nice.
It's just instinctual. It just happens. Not much of a dancer, so it's need to move in any way that doesn't require thought.
We've got some great cameras. Do you want to bust one now?
No.
No.
Fair.
Yeah, fair.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway.
I feel like this podcast is going to be the worst one to listen to start to finish, but it's going to have the best clips for TikTok.
Good.
I don't know. I would enjoy this. I've listened to it.
It's going to be so cut up. Just laughing every 5
or maybe I just won't cut it at all.
Oh, please do.
No.
You have to.
Anyway, moving up to the decks. Ideal set time? What's the time?
Like 9 p.m.
Really?
Well,
Like early nights now?
more recently, yeah, I've just been enjoying. Like, I go to bed at 10 every night, and I get up at 7 every day.
Productive.
Just
Nice.
on the weekend during the week, because it's just if you have the same bedtime every day, it's just so easy to
Get a routine.
Yeah, but then obviously when I get booked to play a set that's like 3 to 4 in the morning, then I really struggle.
Yeah.
So I've been enjoying the earlier sets, like day events now. Printworks was amazing
Oh,
because I
love
was
that.
just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something we've been talking about, you and me, is like the idea of day events becoming more of a thing. Because they're not really like an accepted thing because everyone's like, oh.
I think a 7 to 11, if it's actually like treated, if it's like a 7 to 11 where it's like in a cafe or something and no one's really treating it as a proper event, not a fan of those. But if it's actually treated like a club event, so like Printworks was, or
In a club, it's dark anyway.
Exactly.
There's, like the lights are going to be the same.
yeah, and it's just like you don't need it to be. Why does it need to be?
you're not
also-
missing out on sleep and you're having the same amount of time doing it whilst not feeling like
it's
you're
like what
about to
Annie
pass
Mac's
out.
been doing with her before midnight shows, whatever it is.
Right.
Because they obviously end before midnight, and it's just for old people like me who want to have a normal bedtime.
But the thing is, it's not just about like having a normal bedtime. If you're someone that likes to make the most of their free time, you're writing off. You're essentially so. I'm going to a gig at 11 p.m. I'm essentially sort of writing off that day, half that day, just preparing for that moment, and then the gig happens, and there's no chance I'm doing anything the next day.
Exactly.
So you might as well just write off one day instead of two.
Yeah.
There's the theory. There's the theory.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel even if you like drink the same amount that you would have done and get the same amount of sleep that you would have done if you'd been up till like 4 or 5 or whatever. If you go to bed at the normal time, I feel like you feel way better the next day.
Yeah,
just
man.
by having the normal sleep pattern.
After that Printworks gig, I realised I got home and I was ravenous, and I was like, I don't understand why. And I was like, well,
It's dinner
I
time.
ate before I left, and it's now been 10 hours, and I can just get dinner and then
Yeah.
wake up not feeling guilty about it the next day.
I got tonsillitis after that show, so
Oof.
I didn't feel good afterwards. But
Yeah.
in my head, I was appreciative of having.
The thought that counts.
Yeah, I was like, at least I'm in bed at 10. Even though I was like,
Anyway, do you plan your sets?
no.
All right, fair. What? Not
Next topic.
not at all. Like not
I
even
have
like
done-
little transitions that you know are cool.
I have done sometimes if it's. Well, I did for when I did Isaac's Represent show.
Yeah.
I planned that, but only because it had been the first like live radio type, like live streamed thing that I'd done in a while.
It's a big moment for you,
Exactly, yeah. It was a pinnacle of my career.
as you'd expect.
Yeah, I'd done that only because I'd only just started mixing in key at the time, and I was
Right.
kind of
You'd
quite,
only just started mixing in key then?
yeah.
As in you only just downloaded.
After how many
mixed in
years
key.
of DJing behind you?
I don't know, since like 2015.
Oh
I
my
guess.
goodness.
Well, I don't know. I'd always thought about it, but I'd never like done it in record box and put everything in
Yeah.
key. So I found that it makes it a lot easier actually,
Yeah.
and it sounds good. So I've been missing a trick. But yeah, so I just kind of I ran away with that. But so I guess I kind of prepared it in a way, and I just like pick a tune that I want to start with, and probably a tune that I kind of want to end with. But I don't know. I don't usually pick an ending tune because I never know
Yeah, it's probably the
how
best
long
way to
it's
do it.
gonna run on. 'Cause sometimes you think, I'm done now, and then it's like a person's like, like play another one. I'm like, fine.
Do you ever find yourself scrambling for tunes in a set then?
Quite a lot actually.
Really?
Because I try to really keep it the playlist like quite trim.
Right.
for what I don't want to have to weigh too many tunes in there, because the worst thing is if you think that you haven't got enough tunes and you play a load of like filler stuff and then you don't end up playing all of like the big hitters because you ran out of time because you played all the filler tunes. So I try to keep it pretty trim, and then usually there's like a pretty fine margin, and then I'm begging that the person comes on within the next couple of minutes because I've got like nothing left to play.
Nice.
It's probably the best way to do it. A bit nerve-wracking.
Speaking of like opening tunes that you have prepared, what is the opening tune right now for you?
I'd tell you if I had any bookings.
Well, there you go. Get on, book Higgo.
Do you want to make a public appeal?
Please, please book me. I'm not that expensive.
Ideal opener tune. Let's talk about
Recently, well, at Printworks, I made my own little version of Chris Lorenzo's bootleg of Higher Ground by Tonight. And like bam, 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 bam.
that. Wait, I don't quite know it yet. Keep going.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh yeah, no, I've got it now. Now we did that, I've got it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's got his own version, but obviously it's like Chris Lorenzo, big bass line tune, and I can't play that sort of stuff, but it's a banger. So I kind of just made my own version of it, which kind of steals his idea, but makes it like garage.
Wicked.
So
Have you sent it to him?
no, and I won't send it to anyone because I feel it's a bit deep. Like it's all right for like me to play it out because it's a bit fun, but I would never like try and release it or put it on, send it to anyone, or I don't know. I feel it's pinching his thing a little bit too much.
It's not etiquette.
No, like it's I don't know. Is it the same as like stealing someone's dub? I don't know. Like I made it.
Well,
my
if you
own.
released it, yeah.
I nicked his melody. Like, no, the melodies from the original tune. I nicked like the idea, but like I made it all myself.
So I remember.
You've kind of outed yourself now by saying.
Well, I think it's fine, but like it's not. I would never put it out
Yeah, no, it's not.
because it's not my idea.
Yeah.
But I have kind of done it myself.
Yeah, Scott Garcia, who I think is kind of the judge and jury of the garage rules.
Is
maybe.
he?
I don't know. He's pretty militant on that sort of stuff, isn't he?
I think Well, I think the whole like there seemed to be like a whole thing in the 90s maybe, or like in this between the sort of like older school people, like you wouldn't bootleg someone's tune if you knew them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was like a thing. I think that they kind of stick by as like good etiquette. Like if I knew you, I wouldn't bootleg one of your tunes.
Really?
Yeah, if it's bootlegging like Beyonce or somebody, then it's not seen as deep. But if it's somebody else in your scene, it's a bit of a...
I guess so. I guess it's different now, isn't it? Because it's not seen as... I don't know. If someone bootlegs your tune, then it's like as long as it's good,
Yeah.
then it's like a bit of fun, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's quite the same.
There was a
now.
lad that actually did an edit of one of Sam's tunes that consisted of taking the tune and putting the I like to move it a cappella on top of it, which we thought was quite funny. But then he put a download gate on it that didn't take the gate to follow Steppers Club or Sam.
That's when it gets a bit
Which
peak.
I thought was a bit naughty, but we didn't do anything about it. But if you're listening, I can't remember his name.
I don't mind
Change
it. I thought it was funny.
No, I thought it was jokes. That's why we didn't say anything.
Yeah, I mean it's all fairly harmless in it, but it's just kind of credit where credit's due. But I mean in this thing that I've made, I literally called it like Tonight, Higher Ground, Chris Lorenzo edit, Higgo remake type thing.
Nice.
So just for if anyone does happen to steal it from me,
Nice.
steals my USB.
We'll just look over and be like,
yeah, and it's just like, no, I'll credit with the song name. I promise.
Anyway, so you got that opening, nice little opener vibe.
Yeah.
What's a question? I don't really like how I pose this question. I need to think of a better name
me
to ask
neither.
it. But the wheel up rhythm, if you will, the tune that is always going off.
In my sets.
Yeah.
Oh. Probably that. It's Sammy Vergy, innit? Always Sammy Vergy. The what's it called? Hackney Parrot edit that he done. Well, the version I have is an Hackney Parrot edit, but I think he's changed it so that it's like his intro tune now, so it has like a big
cool.
Vergy intro thing now.
Nice.
That's cool.
It's just there'll probably be a good clip of it actually, if you want to put that there.
I don't think this pointing is going to have anything to do with where I put the clip.
No, well, there's a great.
Can you make a point of putting it somewhere completely different on the screen?
Yeah. Well, you're right here.
Just on Higgo's face.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a banger. always Virgie tunes that just go off every time. So.
And how would you ideal crowd like to end your set? Do you want to leave them with something like beautiful or something like fuck off?
Depends who's on after me, I think.
Fair.
Yeah, I think if it's like, obviously, if you're playing before the headline or whatever, and they're going to be like bigger and more energetic or heavier than you, then it makes sense to go a bit heavier. But if you're like ending the night, or if it's like or if they're changing genres after you and they're going D&B or something,
Yeah.
then
So you think about the next person for your closing tune. You don't just
usually. I mean, it's kind of. I think that's fair, isn't it?
Is that etiquette?
I mean, I won't go.
I know that Jemmy likes to end with Benga at the moment.
Yeah, he stitched you up, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, but then he also cleared the room. So I mean, he's kind of he's shooting both of you in the foot with that one.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't really respect the kind of etiquette of
What is the etiquette?
what a warm-up set is. People don't really play a warm-up set. They just come and do their thing, which I don't think is a bad thing. But I think when I was getting into DJing and I was being taught the ropes and everything, it was like, if you play a warm-up set, you do this, and then you finish on something that means the next person will go into it. I don't really feel like people like kind of adhere to
it
that.
depends if you want to get booked again or not, I suppose. Because if you're like in that warm-up DJ stage and you're like you're really trying to get a look in from promoters and stuff, then it's good to not try and piss everyone off. But if you're just warming up for somebody else and you're already established and you don't care, then
because most established artists wouldn't be on the opening set, right? It's usually like the sort of
no, but everyone's warming up for someone unless they're the headliner, aren't they?
Yeah.
So,
I remember going the first time I played in Newcastle, a girl played before me that ended on a zero tune, and I was playing my nice melodic garage.
Yeah,
So
that's always a peak one.
She played a Kajama tune and then a zero tune to finish the set.
Yeah.
So it's a nice juxtaposition. In sound.
Yeah, but then I've been there before. I've played Riddim before Notion came on before.
what's Riddim?
like American tear out dubstep.
Right.
And I was playing a garage set.
Did you do that to stitch you up?
No, I was just really drunk. Love you, Notion.
Is there a clip of that?
There is one somewhere. Well, I don't have it, but there's a clip of me playing this horrible like sort of music. I don't know why. I was just really drunk, and then he comes into the booth and like goes to put his USB in, and I just turn around and just go, "Sorry."
What, was he genuinely like quite annoyed by it?
I think he's chatted to Andy about it. He was just like, "Why did he do that?"
Was this recently?
No, I did this ages ago, but he's spoken to Andy recently or whatever.
Right. Andy being Jemmy.
Yeah. But no, we're fine now. Me and Rob. We're all on first name terms now.
Oh wow!
So yeah, well, I've made amends more than enough.
Right.
But yeah, no, that don't do that. It's not a good idea to play.
What I thought was quite interesting from when we did the Scott Garcia podcast is he was saying like back in the day, the premium set was like the closing set, like that 4 till 5.
Well, it
set,
kind of is now.
5.
If you think about like Printwork, like a show that's like an event, like big Printworks, like I closed Printworks or I closed, this club.
I think
big
overall,
IB
depends on the
like,
time though. Like I feel like I don't feel like anyone's really out till like. Obviously, people are, but it's like being out till like 5 a.m. is not as big as a thing.
In Scott's heyday or whatever, then it was kind of more of that. Everyone was
and
really
it was like
big
you
into
like
the
whole
night
thing,
as an event.
Yeah, like the whole thing is you'd leave them with like something beautiful to like take away, like Gabrielle or like the Groove Chronicles.
But now everyone's just doing Ket, so they don't care. Like if everyone was doing if everyone had 90s pills. And they were all just doing that in the clubs now. Maybe people would care about whether they were playing a nice melodic, emotional tune at the end.
Yeah.
So that's why you finish on Riddim instead.
Yeah, to wake them
up. What's the best set you've ever done? You think? Was it the Warehouse Project one, or
what? As in that I enjoyed the most, or as in that was technically the best?
Let's say both.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you got an answer for either?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Warehouse Project is the most memorable for me.
Yeah.
It felt the best. I mean,
like what? Like the biggest milestone for you? Or?
Yeah, it was just. I mean, just having such a big crowd, and also because they're so close to you, getting that immediate feedback. Because I've played at like some of these big top festival tent things, and it's like the crowd are so far away. And like you really can't get a good reaction from them. You can't like make eye contact with any of the people. You can't see anybody, and it's like you can hear them, but it's not quite the same. and it's just they're also nerve wracking as well, especially when you first do it, when there's like 8,000 people in front of you, and it's just like, oh, like don't remember a single moment of the set really.
Any set that you've come off of and just felt like you've like smashed it in terms of what you like everything you put together? Because I guess if you're not planning it right,
Actually, the first set that I played after we came back from lockdown,
Yeah.
after there'd been a big break for ages, I played a show in Brighton at Concord with Sammy.
Nice.
And for some reason, that was just like the best crowd reaction I've ever got.
I think
Like,
everyone was the first, like anybody that played in that first week. Like we did our first episode the week after it had opened,
yeah.
and I've never seen energy in the room. Like
That was
that.
probably
So-
the one that was my favourite set. I think I think I ever will do.
Yeah,
And I do
Because it was the idea of just being like locked up from what you love doing.
people had so much energy.
everyone
So
was
long.
so ready for it.
Yeah,
and then to DJ that is like another thing.
And I've got a clip of that here. Yeah, that was the best. And then like, I came off and everyone was like, backstage and like, oh, that was such a great set. I really enjoyed that. And like, even Sammy was saying that he was like shook because of how good the set was. And he was like worried about his own set. I was like, oh my God, I've never recovered. I never played a good set ever again. So that's the curse, unfortunately.
Well, let's talk about your production now. I've got your Spotify page loaded up here.
Thanks,
Just
man.
a reference to. But so most kind of recently to the time of recording, even though it's not too recent now, maybe like a couple months. Has it been? So don't
Yeah,
want
it's
to be
like
talking.
almost 3 months now. It's been a while.
Well, first I want to talk about the album cover for that. It's you with a load of trolleys.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, what's the message?
There isn't one. We kind of joked that the message was buy the tune.
Nice.
It was just that when we did like the photo shoot, because we didn't have all the singles ready for my deal, and we did all the album, like all the artwork in a single shoot in one day.
Oh, wow.
So we had some kind of ideas ready for the first single or whatever, but not much rest for the rest of it. So they just had a bunch of props and stuff and different like background colours and things, and we're like, well, we'll take a bunch of shots of stuff and then we'll kind of match it up later. And there wasn't really a thing for like don't want to be talking. I don't know. It wasn't. I don't know. It was. We just thought the photos were cool, so we
I
just
don't
used
want
that.
to be talking to you when
Yeah.
I'm out shopping.
I don't want to be talking to you about my album artwork that has no relevance to the song title.
Yeah, I like that.
Sounds about right.
It's like a deeper meaning there.
Yeah.
But let's talk about how that tune came together. Didn't you say it was like, I hear somewhere it was like originally a bootleg of something?
It was that instrumental was originally an Ariana Grande bootleg of 34, 35. You know the that song.
No,
Not
I'm
really clued
not
up
that,
on my
Yeah,
grande.
Oh well. Here's a clip of it right here.
Wicked. All right, well, that'd be quite cool to show a clip. What? So is that how you make, how most of your tunes come together?
Yeah, so
Originally
usually
bootlegs?
I'll just be messing around and I'll kind of bootleg some popular tune or just a random vocal I found online.
Nice.
And then I'll kind of file that instrumental away for later and then use it in a session or see if it matches something else that I'm doing. And it just makes good stuff to play out in sets. So yeah, that's what I did for that, the Ariana Grande one, which was a bit of a vibe. But yeah, obviously couldn't use that vocal, so
Yeah.
use it for something else.
Well, it feels like with your most recent reels as well that you're doing, your random beat until my next, I don't know what the title is.
Oh yeah, I ran until my next single, whatever.
So that feels like it's imminent. Is that right?
yeah.
Next month, I think I can say now.
Cool.
I think it's all
Next
fully.
So probably
I think it's all cleared.
when this comes out, like a couple weeks? Or-
Yeah.
When's this coming out?
2 weeks from now-ish.
It probably won't be out yet, but
Okay.
it'll be the next thing. So
Can you say anything about it?
I don't know.
Is it one of your most proudest tunes?
I'm pretty gassed with it in terms of the feature and the sample and stuff that we've got cleared for it. It's pretty big-o, as you'd say.
Big-o.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Big.
Yeah, I'm just excited to get more music out, to be honest, because it's
Yeah, man.
like that. The
We're
one you're just saying
excited too.
it's been what almost 3 months, and that feels like a lifetime now. Because the original plan this year was to put out a tune every like month to 6 weeks, and we've had delays and clearances and stuff. So we're getting there, but yeah, just excited to get something more out.
Nice, man. Well, yeah, we're excited too.
Yeah, big ups.
What is like your most proudest tune or favourite tune that you have made?
I think I don't know.
It's got to be the Disclosure tune.
Well, I guess so, but that kind of it never really came out, and it was kind of just a bit of a thing on the side. But in terms of like release tunes, I think probably the one I did at the start of the year, the one with Must Be John.
Yeah.
I Just Want to Dance. I don't know. I really like the way it came together. We both just like messaged each other on Instagram and just like hooked up studio. It wasn't like arranged through a label or a publisher or anything. It just kind of happened organically. Cool. We got in the studio and it just like happened naturally. I think the most memorable sessions are the ones where you just kind of get in there with somebody and it just happens and just
Did
works.
he go in with anything or did he work from scratch?
I think he had a couple of ideas, but we really like honed it down and worked it together. It wasn't just sort of like we'll stick these words on top of that beat and that's it, call it a day. Like we really kind of worked at it.
You had the beat already.
I had like part of it, and then we both had like a little idea of the beat and his lyrics or whatever, and we kind of made them work around each other. But yeah, I think I just like the way that it really came together as a whole product from just nothing really. It's like when the best tunes happen.
Have you got many more like sort of collabs coming out? Because there's not many Higgo collabs, is there? But like, what are you sitting on at the moment that you've got?
There aren't any like producer collabs. I've always struggled with really. Like I like working with singers and songwriters, obviously, but producers, I don't know. I think I just like doing my own thing too much, and like working with other producers always feels like a bit too much of a compromise. Maybe. Perhaps I've just not been working with the right people, or it's always been people that I don't know very well.
You've got something with Champion, right?
Yeah, we made like a little thing for our back to back at Ministry, which was fun. It was like a fun little tune, but nothing's happened with it. It was just like something for the show, really.
But did you make that in person?
Yeah, we did.
Do you think that's like different doing it in person as opposed to like remote?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I can't do like STEM collabs at all.
Right.
It's just so impersonal, and there's like a weird mental barrier that I have when I've got like somebody else's stems there. With a remix, it's fine because I can do what I like with it. But something about having to like kind of put both of our names on at the end of the day and like editing someone else's work and like undoing what they've done, I don't know, it just completely stops my brain being creative and I can't do it. So yeah, in-person collabs I think is the way to go. If I was to get in the studio with Champion, because we didn't really know each other at the time, if we had to do it again now, I think we'd come up with something really cool.
Yeah. Few dream collabs to work for that we could maybe look out for in the future?
Oh, I mean, me and Sammy have talked about doing something for years, and we've tried bits on and off, but never like in person. I think that would be big.
Agreed.
I really want to do something with Disclosure eventually, especially after all the whole remix business.
Have you kept in touch with them after that?
Yeah, I chat to them a few. Like they sometimes reach out to me for tunes and stuff, and like they kind of focus tested their like club EP and stuff with us through the Discord, which was fun. But that I think they're starting to gear up for some new launch now. I think because I've seen them.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They've been
Something's
reactivating
happening.
in the past couple of days, so I guess we'll see what that's all about.
Wicked. Sick, man. Well, it's getting pretty hot in here. You've just shelled the maddest set of your life.
Thanks, Ben.
It's getting quite intense. Your mum is about to pass out. We need to move on out to get some air to the smoking area. So let's go. Wow, here we are, smoking area. How do you feel? Refreshed?
Yeah,
Do you
very.
like coming to the smoking area? Are you a smoker?
Not only I used to, not anymore. With a pint maybe. But no, the smoking area is a good time. I think it's where you can sort of collect your thoughts. You can all gather, and as long as you don't spend your whole time there, I think it's right.
Any funny smoking area stories you can think of?
I've been mistaken for Boo, and
You got nothing like this.
well, when I had more of a beard, I don't know. I've had it a few times.
Really?
Well, Window Kid, he
You've been mistaken for Window.
No.
Oh, right.
Window Kid, he was
I was going to
It's
say,
like, yeah,
I can see that more than I can see Boo.
he was telling me that he spent the whole day in like Ibiza or whatever it was with Boo and that.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, Boo was getting really annoyed with him, and he was like, he didn't know why.
Yeah.
And it turned out he'd been calling him Higgo all day. But I mean, maybe that's just Greg. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's quite funny that, like, because didn't a fan, like, tag a selfie?
Wait, did he think he was with you for the whole day?
No, he was just calling him
just as a joke.
I'm not sure. But it was,
Tell us about the tagging situation.
Oh yeah, Boo was telling me that at Warehouse Project somebody had taken a photo or whatever and tagged him in the photo afterwards on Instagram, and it was a photo of me.
Do you think that person turned up and was like, "Why is Boo playing a garage set?"
I have no idea. That's what I mean. Nobody cares.
Have you seen that like clip of that guy who's like, it's like a Snapchat recording, and he's like, "Oh mate, do you want to go see Headaches, B2B, K Motions or something?"
I love B2B.
And yeah, he's like, "Oh mate, like I would love to see Headaches. Like I haven't seen him before, and like I'd love to see this guy, but I've just seen B2B too many times." I was like, yeah, that's
He's everywhere, isn't he?
like I think it's just a painful amount of people that just go and have no idea that who's playing.
I think a lot of kids now just see like clips on TikTok and they just go see like the amount of people that are now Headaches fans and Boo fans and like Sammy Virgie fans. Just because they've just like, they're the only people that come up on TikTok. Like,
It's the whole like, it's the whole kind of like big party culture around it as well. Probably it's like people just want to get fucked up.
yeah, I think that is the vibe these days.
Oh well, what can you do?
It's a good time, really. Getting fucked up. Can't blame them.
Have you had any like? Can you remember your first sort of fan interaction where someone came up and went, "Oh, it's Higgo"?
I think somebody asked me for a photo after I played a set at Q Club in Reading.
Oh wow!
Which was like very early days. Was nobody was playing, and I'm sure, I don't know if maybe it was an ironic photo. Like, let's take a photo of the DJ who nobody came to see.
What was it? Was it a busy crowd?
There was nobody there.
Oh, it's just...
Literally nobody there.
Apart from that guy who wanted the photo.
Did they?
Or is he
I
not
think,
even
I
there
think they
either?
were like sat at the bar or whatever.
Did they post the photo afterwards? Did you
No,
ever see it again?
I've never seen it again.
So you didn't know if that guy follows you or if it was just around?
I don't know. Well, this was so long ago as well. It's like I'm unsurprised. I'd be surprised if anyone knew who I was. So,
Right.
Someone asked me for my first photo the other day.
oh really?
Yeah, but I think they were
Was it your
just
mum?
kind of being. Nah, it was like a genuine person. Not that my mum is. Sorry, Mum. No, I mean it was someone on the boat, but I think they were just being nice. But, like, felt awkward because they asked Andy for a photo, Jenny for a photo. They probably were like, "Oh, probably should ask him as well."
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah, did you step
Maybe
in,
they
like,
did,
You can
to
have a
be
photo
fair.
of me as well, would you like, mate? I was like, yeah, fine.
Someone asked me if I was Zephyr as well, which is quite funny.
Easy mistake to make.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't think we look alike. It's not like a Bo Higgo situation. A
Bo
Bogo.
Higgo.
Is that a rude word?
Well, it's Boo, isn't it?
Boo.
Oh right, Boo. Yeah, it's not like a it's not like a Boo Higgo situation. Oh, I feel a bit like drunk. I think it's been a bit intense in the Steppers Club, and coming to the smoking area. It's all
Grand
sort of hit
reopening.
me.
It's a big occasion.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's been a great set, man. Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Any interesting conversations that kind of led to something else in the smoking area? Because that sometimes happens.
I don't think so. You always think it's going to go somewhere interesting. It's like, yeah, man, like, you should totally come over, man. Like, we'll make beats, man. Like, we can do a set and it'll be sick.
I'm pretty sure I did that to you the first time I met you.
Yeah, man. Your set was the best set ever, man. There's been many sets. Many conversations like that have led to nothing, and not many that have led to anything substantial. So,
Favourite smoking area that you can remember?
ooh,
They're all pretty rubbish, right?
the ones where you can smoke in the club or behind the decks, they're the best.
Who did we talk to
Festivals
about?
and
They were so old that smoking in clubs was a thing at some point for them. Who was that? We had that on somebody on the podcast.
I think it was Selector.
Was it Selector? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was, wasn't it? Yeah, and he said that back when he first started clubbing, you could just smoke indoors, and that was a thing.
Really? How old is
Yeah.
he?
It's like 30, mid-30s, early
Yeah.
30s.
Oh, was he
It
really?
was like, there was like
Was
the
that same
whole
age as me?
smoking ban, and then
Yeah. Well, I remember the smoking ban, but I was like 13 when it happened or something. So
oh right,
it wasn't.
oh so yeah.
So you're just getting started then.
Yeah. I was only on 20 a day at that point.
Wait, did you say you smoke or you don't?
I used to.
Right, cool. Do you vape?
No.
Nice,
I just completely cold turkeyed it,
respect.
and then it kind of slowly snuck back in for the occasional, like with a beer or whatever. But no, I'm not an addict.
I want to just quickly ask you a production question that I forgot to ask in the main room, but I just think it'd be quite cool to ask, and I want to know because you've made quite a lot of bootlegs. Is what's like your favourite bootleg that you've made?
Probably Champion Sound, just because it's like,
Iconic.
yeah, it's one of the first ones I did, and it's the most like requested up till now, I think. And
Really?
I think, well, yeah, people always ask for it at shows. It still kind of holds up. I think it holds a special place in my heart just for like a cool flip on the tune. It's been kind of ruined by that like Fortnite version of the the Estelle, like American Boy, but the Victory Royale. We're about to get down.
Maybe you should change it.
Yeah, you should do an
that.
edit with
I'll
that in it.
say
Oh,
that.
please do that.
Yeah, that's gonna. Now I can kind of just hear that whenever I hear it. But
But you know that like whoop, 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 whoop.
yeah,
The chords. Is that a sample or is that like
I think it's massive.
mad? Oh, so it's your chords.
Yeah, but I didn't play them in. I like stacked all the notes up, so it's like some mad combination of notes that you wouldn't be able to play with your fingers. I think.
Oh, wicked.
Um,
Techie.
Because yeah, I remember going back to it. I was like, I swear I never played that because it's way too techie. But
That's sick.
yeah,
Oh,
man.
respect.
Thanks,
I
dude.
have more respect for that tune now.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was a sample. I just thought you like found the sample.
Oh
and
no,
then-
it's a synth.
Wicked.
I'd
Sick.
respect it more if you did the Fortnite version. Could you do that?
Number one Victory Royale.
Can you please do that? Thing is, the bookings would bang on TikTok and the bookings would start flying in. But you'd have to play that. So that's just got to weigh
I
it
feel
up.
like even that's a bit dated now for TikTok years.
Like you're sat on because you say like you always like start with a bootleg when you're producing or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you start with like a vocal. Are you keen to like get them out on TikTok and stuff like that, or is like are you because obviously then you're like showing the beat that's eventually going to become an original tune.
It gets a bit messy, but I've just been a bit. I don't know. I've just been putting stuff up now because it's
Yeah.
I'll only be 28 once. I might as well put the get all the stuff out on TikTok. I won't be young for much longer.
That's some wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've just been putting stuff up. I mean, it does get a bit annoying when it's like people just want you to put stuff on SoundCloud, and it's like you can't just. I know my SoundCloud got demonetized anyway because I monetized all my bootlegs, and they cancelled my account.
Because I
think they-
SoundCloud used to have a system where
I think
it was
they still
like,
make money off it.
Really? I
Yeah.
bet they do.
Yeah.
It used to have a 3-strike system where it was like 1 was a warning, 2 was you couldn't make tracks available to be downloaded, and then 3 was your account would be
This
deleted.
is just instant demonetization.
But they haven't like threatened to delete your account if you keep doing it.
No, I haven't put any more tracks up there.
Right.
It's just they just I think it's because I'd already made a load of money off it,
Right.
and they were just like, "Yep, you're done."
That's enough.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah,
Fair.
people are always like, "Oh, release like this, release that, put it on SoundCloud." And it's like, well, I have nothing to gain from doing that. I'm sorry, but like,
But you would probably like big numbers on TikTok.
Hey, maybe
result
this
in-
is where the Big O profile comes into play. Get a new
Maybe.
profile up.
Yeah,
Bootlegs.
that's the thing with being in a-
bootleg Higgo, Big O.
yeah,
Then do you want to be known as the bootleg guy?
yeah. So I was that guy for a while, and I kind of want to not be that guy.
I feel like when like early days when like Sam and I were coming into the scene, you probably existed for like a year or two prior to when we sort of got started. And I remember at that time the whole kind of premise with becoming an artist or whatever was that you could do bootlegs and they would increase your follower count and all the rest of it. But then if you wanted to start getting bookings and be taken seriously,
You needed
you
originals.
start making originals. I feel like now all the people that
It's
get
gone the other
booked,
way
it's
around.
completely the opposite.
Yeah,
It truly
it's,
is,
it's a
yeah.
bit counterintuitive, and I think that's why I've struggled to adjust because
Yeah.
now I'm like trying to put out these proper like singles on a real label and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like, and then I can make like a
But-
Shaggy, it wasn't me bootleg, and then everyone wants that on TikTok and nothing else.
I will
and I can't put it
say,
out.
I will say something that's kind of interesting that I've heard recently. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I've heard it from a few people. Is like I was speaking to somebody who does a lot of like bookings for like big festivals and stuff, and they were booking like these massive TikTok people on the same sort of billings as like other big artists on a similar following level, but no one was really showing up to the TikTok people shows because it's all like, they reckon it's all like it's just hollow numbers.
Yeah.
And then it's the same with like, I think labels are starting to like get less on it now of picking people up from TikTok because they're not getting the
It's very flash in the pan.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's always going to be the case, and especially like TikTok. So like you blow a single person up to like super stardom, and then they'll be dropped like the next day. Now it's getting so quick. But yeah, like I saw the similar kind of thing with like Pink Pantheress. There were like clips of her set from Coachella, and there was nobody there.
really.
But also she's kind of bigger over here, and
Yeah.
it's such a massive festival. She was probably clashing with someone even bigger.
Yeah, everyone would see her here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I
don't think Coachella would really like get like garage and like jungle beats.
No,
and
but
that.
obviously she's like big TikTok, and you'd think that
True.
would translate,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
clearly didn't. But maybe she was clashing with someone else. I don't know. But that was just it. Just made me think about it at the time. Obviously, it's not like totally the same thing.
Fair. Well, anyway, our time at the Dream Club is coming to an end.
Oh,
It's closing up. But what I want to ask, final question. Are you an afters guy? Where are you heading now? I know you like your early nights now. Where are you an
Yeah.
afters guy?
I very much was an afters guy
Really?
for a while, and that's not so much anymore. I can't. Maybe very occasionally if the stars align, but I really would much rather get some sleep now. I think.
Fair. All right. I respect that.
Not inviting you then.
Don't want to come in there.
So you're heading straight home. Uber, kebab?
Never had a kebab
What?
ever.
Ever?
Never in my life.
So you don't know the taste of a kebab?
No.
Wow.
And it's yeah. People are always
crazy.
surprised because they always think I'm Turkish as well.
I can see that. Well, when we get you back for the second episode, we'll have a live taste test of a kebab for the first time.
Thanks,
It's
man.
exclusive.
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be
Yeah.
great content.
It will.
Or maybe we could cut to a clip now of you trying your first kebab.
We could do. That'll be my extracurricular activity.
It's a bit of homework for you.
But
Check it out.
You just don't have a desire to try a kebab.
I just never
at
had.
all?
I mean, I don't know. People always have them like after a drunk night out or something. I probably would have got like chips. I guess I've just never ended up having a kebab in my life.
Yeah.
like kebab like on a skewer, but that's not the same thing, innit? You're on about like a doner kebab.
Yeah.
Never,
Dirty like kebab.
never.
Well,
happened, sorry.
fair enough. So you're going home hungry and straight away.
Yep.
Respect. Well,
Story
man,
of my life.
thanks so much for coming down. It's been a pretty iconic refurb of the club podcast.
It has.
Yeah, it's a big relaunch of the club. Pleasure to have such a interesting guest come on to relaunch the Steppers Club podcast.
Such
Thanks
an
for having me.
honourable first guest with a
Oh.
lot of exciting potential and prospect.
Very kind.
Oh, I shouldn't use the word potential there. I meant to say black prospect.
Oh, dear.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, man. Yeah, it's been fun. And shout out your socials.
Higgo UK on everything.
And we are Steppers Club, or add an underscore at the end for Instagram.
Anyway, yeah, thank you, Higgo.
Big up.
Big up, big O.
Bye.
Bye.